Captain Cole Payne hated peace more than war. War was simple. You saw the enemy. You killed the enemy. Peace was crowds, treaties, and smiling aliens who'd spent 15 years trying to wipe humanity off the star map. Nixara spaceport smelled like engine coolant, burnt spice, and old blood that no one admitted was still there. Cole moved through it in full combat armor, dark alloy drinking in the harsh alien sunlight instead of reflecting it. He liked it that way. Less shine, less attention. "Stay close, Argo," he muttered. The German shepherd padded beside him, massive shoulders rolling, ears high, eyes sharp. The crowd parted instinctively, not for Cole but for the dog. Vidians respected predators. The peace treaty was 3 months old. That meant it was still fragile enough to shatter if someone sneezed wrong. Cole had been assigned cultural observation duty, which was politician code for don't fuck this up. He was already regretting not getting himself shot instead. "Excuse me." "Human, sir." Cole stopped. 3 small Vidian girls stood in the shadow of a vendor stall. Emerald skin, light-colored hair braided in patterns he recognized instantly. Royal caste. Their dresses were expensive. Too expensive. "Shit." "What?" he grunted. The tallest stepped forward, calm, too calm. "We believe we are lost." Cole scanned the district. Industrial zone, bad one. Anti-human sentiment still simmered here, treaty or not. "Where's your escort?" he asked. "We were separated when the crowd surged," she said evenly. "And then we became more lost." Cole exhaled slowly through his nose. "Walk away, not your problem. Not worth the political mess." But they were kids. And even after everything the Vidians had done, he couldn't leave kids here. "Fine," he snapped. "I'll get you back to the central plaza. Stay close. Don't touch shit. And don't wander." They nodded instantly. As they walked, Cole kept his hand near his sidearm. Argo took rear guard. The girls whispered, occasionally touching the dog's fur like he was some mythical beast. "He is a warrior?" one asked. "He's a dog," Cole replied. "And yeah, he fights." The market grew quieter the farther they went. Too quiet. Shops closed early. Merchants packed up fast. A Vidian hurried past them, eyes wide. Royal announcement. All gatherings suspended. Cole stopped. "Royal announcement." He looked down at the girls slowly. "Who exactly are you waiting for at the plaza?" Before anyone could answer, armored boots thundered nearby. Orders barked in Vidian. "Royal Guard," the tallest girl whispered. Fear cracked her composure for the first time. "Please, we cannot be found." Cole swore. "Move," he said. Because whatever trouble these kids were in, he was already neck-deep in it. Cole didn't know it yet, but the moment those girls clung to him, half the Empire had just gone on lockdown, and he was standing at the center of it. Cole shoved them into the shadow beneath a massive loading pillar, empty, silent, wrong. "Stay here," he said, sliding down to sit. We waited out. Argo lay beside him, muscles coiled. The girls exchanged glances. Then, without asking, they moved in. All 3 curled against his armored chest. "What the hell?" Cole started. Too late. They were already asleep. Their breathing synced fast. Small bodies pressed tight like he was a barricade between them and the universe. He froze, unsure what to do, hands awkwardly hovering. Then he sighed. "Just my luck," he muttered. Exhaustion hit him like a hammer. 15 years of war, 3 months of bullshit peacekeeping, and now, babysitting alien royalty. The last thing he remembered was Argo's steady breathing. Cold metal kissed his throat. "Human," a voice hissed. "Do not move." Cole's eyes snapped open. A dozen royal guards surrounded him. Energy blades. Pulse rifles. All aimed center mass. The girls were still asleep on his chest. Argo growled low. "Stand down," Cole murmured. The guards parted. She stepped forward. Tall, regal, emerald skin darker than her daughter's. Power rolled off her like gravity. Empress Valora. Cole's blood went ice cold. He carefully shifted the girls and stood, bowing stiffly. "Captain Cole Payne, Terran Marine Corps." "You have something that belongs to me," Valora said. "They were lost," Cole replied evenly. "And in danger." "And you decided to abduct my daughters?" Weapons tightened. Cole met her gaze. "I decided to protect children. Yours included." Silence. Then she laughed. A rich, dangerous sound. "My daughters are selective," she said. "And they chose you." One of the girls stirred. "Mother?" Chaos dissolved into relief. Valora knelt, holding them close. Then she stood and looked at Cole differently. "I owe you a debt," she said, "and I do not like debts." Cole felt the trap closing. Cole thought surviving. The war was hard, he had no idea. Surviving the Queen's attention would be worse. "I have a proposal," Empress Valora said. Cole already hated how that sounded. "The peace is fragile," she continued. "I need a human who speaks plainly, who acts, not a diplomat." "I'm a soldier," Cole said. "Not court material." "Exactly." She stepped closer. "Too close. My daughters trust you. I trust their instincts." Cole glanced at the girls. They were watching him like he'd already said yes. "Duration?" he asked. "1 lunar cycle." His comm chirped. "Already cleared," Valora said smoothly. "Your colonel was eager." "Of course he was." "When do I start?" "Now." As they walked toward the transport, she leaned in. "There is another reason I chose you." "Oh?" "I find humans fascinating." Her gaze lingered. Cole swallowed. This wasn't just diplomacy. This was something far more dangerous. Cole had walked into a royal court thinking he was a guest. He was about to learn he was bait. The Vidian Imperial Palace wasn't built to impress. It was built to intimidate. Massive arches of living crystal curved overhead, humming faintly with contained energy. Every surface seemed alive, shifting colors based on who walked beneath it. When Cole stepped forward, the floor darkened, almost like it was tasting him. "Yeah, fuck you too," he muttered. Argo padded beside him, nails clicking softly. The guards flanking them watched the dog more closely than the human, which Cole found both amusing and worrying. The daughters clung to him again as they walked. Not fear this time, possession. "This is unacceptable," one of the high ministers snapped as they entered the court chamber. A human so close to the royal bloodline. Cole stopped walking. He turned slowly and looked straight at the alien. "Say bloodline again and I'll show you what human blood does when it gets pissed." Dead silence. The Queen raised one hand. "Enough," Valora said calmly. "Captain Payne is under my protection." That word hit hard. Protection. In Vidian politics, that meant ownership. Cole didn't like that shit at all. They seated him near the lower dais, not high enough to be equal, not low enough to be disposable. A deliberate insult balanced against necessity. The court whispered. Eyes crawled over him. Some curious, some hateful. "Tell me, human," a noble sneered. "Did you enjoy sleeping with our future rulers?" Cole didn't hesitate. "I slept because they felt safe." "Can't say the same about this room." A few gasps. One choked laugh. The Queen smiled. That was when Cole realized something terrifying. She was enjoying this. The daughters eventually left with attendants, reluctantly releasing him. As soon as they were gone, the temperature shifted. Valora descended the steps until she stood inches from him. "You have enemies now," she said quietly. "Power attracts them." "I didn't ask for power," Cole replied. "No," she agreed. "But you earned it." She leaned closer. "And tomorrow you will prove it publicly." Cole frowned. "How?" She smiled wider. "By surviving." Cole had faced enemy armies before, but tomorrow, the entire empire would be watching, waiting for him to bleed. The arena wasn't meant for humans. That became obvious the moment Cole stepped onto the sand. Gravity fluctuated. Air pressure shifted. Every breath felt slightly wrong, like the planet itself wanted him gone. Thousands of Vidians filled the stands, their voices blending into a low, hungry roar. "This is a demonstration," Valora announced from her throne. "To show unity between our peoples." Cole snorted. "Bullshit." A gate slammed open across the arena. Something big moved inside. Argo growled. The creature charged, 6 meters tall, 4 arms, bone-plated hide. The kind of war beast Cole had watched tier squads apart during the early years of the war. The crowd erupted. "No weapons," Cole shouted. Valora's voice echoed calmly. "Only what you bring with you." Cole cracked his neck. "Argo?" The dog didn't hesitate. They moved as one. The beast swung. Cole rolled under it, slamming a combat knife into a joint seam. Bone cracked. The creature howled. Argo leapt, locking onto its throat, jaws crushing cartilage. Cole didn't stop. He finished it. When the beast collapsed, the arena went dead silent. Cole stood there, breathing hard, boots soaked in alien blood. He raised his head and looked directly at the Queen. "You wanted a show," he said.
"There it is."
The silence broke into thunder. Cheers, shock, fear. Valora rose slowly, eyes blazing. "Human," she declared. "You have reminded us why your species survived extinction." Cole wiped his blade clean. "Yeah, we're stubborn as hell." The daughters rushed the railing, shouting his name. And that was when Cole understood the real danger. He wasn't just impressive. He was becoming symbolic. Cole thought winning, the arena would secure his place. But it only painted a larger target on his back. The assassination attempt came that night. Of course it did. Cole woke to Argo snarling and glass shattering. He rolled out of bed as an energy bolt burned through the space where his head had been a second earlier. "Contact," he barked. 3 figures dropped through the window, royal assassins masked and silent. Cole fought dirty. He used furniture, walls, gravity shifts. One assassin went down screaming when Argo tore into their leg. Another caught a blade through the neck. The last one hesitated. Big mistake. Cole slammed him into the floor, knee on chest. "Who sent you?" The assassin laughed through blood. "You cannot belong here, human." Cole tightened his grip. "Watch me." Guards burst in seconds later, weapons raised. Valora arrived moments after, fury barely contained. "They move faster than I expected," she said. "You put a target on me," Cole replied flatly. "Yes," she admitted. "Because they fear you." She looked down at the dead assassin. "And fear makes people reckless." Cole stared at her. "This ends or I walk." Valora met his gaze. "No," she said softly. "This escalates." She placed a hand on his chest, publicly. Gasps echoed. "You are no longer merely protected," she announced. "You are chosen." Cole felt the weight of the room crush down on him. Chosen meant power. Power meant war. Cole had just crossed a line, one that would force him to choose between walking away or changing the fate of an entire species. Cole learned quickly that being chosen didn't come with comfort. It came with watchers. Every corridor he walked had eyes. Some open, some hidden. The palace AI tracked his biometrics constantly now. Heart rate, aggression spikes, stress response. Not to protect him, to measure him. "Your livestock with a leash," Cole muttered as he trained in the royal combat chamber. Argo circled nearby, restless. The daughters visited often. Too often. They spoke of tradition, of bonding rights, of how humans were now a protected anomaly. Cole didn't miss the subtext. They were preparing to bind him politically. That scared him more than the assassins. The Queen summoned him again at dusk. This time no audience, no court, just her and a massive star map hovering between them. "You are destabilizing the balance," Valora said calmly. "Didn't ask to," Cole replied. "No," she agreed. "But you represent something dangerous." She gestured to the map. Human colonies blinked faintly at the edge of Vidian territory. "Your species adapts faster than any we've encountered. You bond emotionally, violently, irrationally, and you refuse to break." Cole folded his arms. "So what's the problem?" Valora's eyes hardened. "Other empires are noticing." That was the first time Cole felt real cold crawl up his spine. She leaned closer. "They believe you are the prototype." "For what?" "For cooperation. Or conquest." Cole laughed once, sharp. Bitter. "You think I'm some fucking weapon?" Valora didn't answer. Silence was enough. Later that night, Cole stood alone on the balcony, staring at the stars. Argo pressed against his leg. "If they come," Cole said quietly, "humans won't kneel." The palace lights flickered. Somewhere far beyond Vidian space, something had just started moving. Cole had become more than a man, and that meant the galaxy was about to test how hard humans really push back. The warning arrived without ceremony. A single encrypted transmission pierced the palace network, overriding even royal firewalls. Valora watched it in silence. Cole stood beside her, arms crossed. 4 alien warships. Unknown design. Heavy mass signatures. "They didn't request entry," Cole said. "They never do," Valora replied. "They take." The daughters were escorted to safety chambers. The court dissolved into panic. Ministers argued. Generals shouted probabilities. Cole didn't care. "Give me a ship," he said. Valora turned sharply. "You are not military command." "No," Cole agreed. "But I know predators. And those ships aren't scouting. They're measuring response time." She hesitated. That was new. Let me talk to them, Cole pressed. Human to whatever the hell they are. Valora studied him, finally nodded. One transmission. The channel opened. A towering alien figure filled the hologram. Metallic skin, segmented eyes, voice like grinding stone. Human, it said. You are property under dispute. Cole smiled coldly. Funny, humans don't do property. The alien leaned closer. You are alone. Cole shook his head. That's where you're wrong. He transmitted data. Combat footage. The arena kill. Human war archives edited but brutal enough. Cities held against impossible odds. Humans fighting without air. Without hope. We survive, Cole said. You don't want to test why. The alien paused. Ships adjusted formation. Valora's breath caught. They're recalculating, she whispered. After a long moment, the transmission cut. The ships withdrew, slowly, cautiously. The palace erupted. Cheers, relief, awe. Valora turned to Cole. You just prevented a war. For now, Cole said. But they'll come back smarter. She nodded. So will we. Cole had scared off an empire, but fear never ends a conflict. It only delays the first shot. The message reached Earth 12 hours later. Not through diplomacy. Through panic. Human command screens lit up with alien signatures. Threat assessments and one repeated phrase from intercepted chatter. Unacceptable human variable. Admirals swore. Politicians argued. Scientists stared. Cole's face appeared on the screen. Alive, standing in an alien palace. Blood on his boots. He's not captured, one general said slowly. He's embedded. That changed everything. Valora watched Cole send the final transmission himself. No speeches, Cole said. No begging. He looked straight into the camera. They're watching us now. Not as prey. Not as allies. As a question. He exhaled. Don't answer quietly. The feed cut. Across human space, fleets began to move. Not to invade. To stand. Valora joined. Cole on the balcony is unfamiliar. Stars shifted position, human ships. Arriving at the edge of Vidian space. They came, she said softly. Of course they did, Cole replied. That's what humans do. The daughters watched from behind, silent, understanding dawning in their eyes. This wasn't about one man anymore. This was first contact, done wrong, then done honestly. Valora turned to Cole. What happens now? He didn't look away from the stars. Now, he said. Now humanity shows the galaxy why surviving us was always a mistake. The galaxy thought it had time to prepare for humans, but the moment had already arrived. The Vidian sensors screamed. Not alarms, calculations failing. Human ships didn't jump in like normal fleets. They stacked. Layered arrivals, staggered vectors, adaptive spacing that made targeting algorithms choke. Valora watched in disbelief. That formation, it keeps rewriting itself. Cole nodded. They don't trust first impressions. Or second. A Vidian general whispered, how many? Cole exhaled. Enough. The first human transmission wasn't military. It was civilian band. Music poured through open channels. Old Earth anthems, rough and defiant. Not for intimidation, for unity. Then the real message followed. Any hostile action against Vidian space will be treated as hostile action against human space. No threats, no flourish. Just fact. The surrounding empires went silent. This wasn't expansion. This was humans planting their feet. Valora turned to Cole. You've forced the galaxy into a choice. Yeah, he said. Stand with us, or get real nervous. Humanity hadn't declared war, but the universe had just realized peace was no longer one-sided. The first strike didn't come from the invaders. It came from a third empire, one ancient enough to believe humans were still insignificant. A single precision blast aimed at the outer human fleet. It never landed. Human countermeasures didn't intercept it. They rewrote it. The energy folded, redirected, and detonated harmlessly in empty space. Every observing empire froze. Valora whispered. That technology was theoretical. Cole's jaw tightened. Yeah, humans finished theorizing. The response wasn't retaliation. It was escalation control. A human dreadnought moved forward alone, dwarfing everything nearby. Its hull bore no markings, no flags. Only a single line broadcast across all channels. We don't need to win. We just need to not lose. The Third Empire withdrew immediately. Others followed. Valora felt something shift, something ancient breaking. Your species doesn't seek dominance, she said slowly. Cole shook his head. No, we just don't accept extinction. She looked at him with something like reverence now. The old powers will fear you. They already should, Cole replied. For the first time in galactic history, the so-called gods were reconsidering their position because humans had arrived prepared. Weeks passed. No wars, no invasions, just recalibration. Treaties rewritten, borders adjusted. Entire doctrines abandoned. Humans weren't conquerors. They were the baseline now. Cole stood before the unified council, alien empires, Vidian royalty, human delegates projected in light. Valora spoke last. Humanity has proven one thing beyond doubt, she said. They are not fragile. She turned to Cole. They are inevitable. Cole stepped forward. We don't want your worlds. We don't want your thrones. Silence. We want the right to exist without asking permission. The council agreed unanimously. Not because they were kind, because they were smart. Later on the balcony one last time, Valora asked quietly, Do you regret being chosen? Cole smiled faintly. No. Why? Because now, he said, watching human and alien ships share the same sky, no one ever gets chosen like that again. Behind him the galaxy moved, careful now, respectful. Humanity had entered the game, and the universe would never forget the moment it realized. Humans don't beg. Humans don't kneel. Humans end eras, and somewhere beyond known space something ancient awakened. Because humanity had finally become worth noticing.